Welcome to today's episode of r/today I ducked up Tifu by getting the local wildlife drunk, sending them on a destructive rampage. Okay, this literally happened hours ago and is still ongoing. So I make my own vodka, and while still fairly new to it I am getting good results but not perfect. The bane of my existence has been my alcohol content before distilling should be at around 20%, where I have been getting consistently about 17%. To fix this I have been searching the net for clues, hints and old wives' tales. One of a few I am trying is to add sultanas, raisins, to my wash. Well, today when my mix had finished fermenting and the sultanas had rehydrated back into grapes, I decided the best thing to do with them was throw them in the garden. This did not go unnoticed by two local crows that like to hang around, and I did not think anything of it when they started to eat them, as they normally pretty chill, so go for gold fellas. Well, it was not 30 minutes before a crow is on my washing line pulling off all my pegs and throwing them on the ground. I shooed him off only to turn around and finding the other pulling my strawberries off the plant. Not eating them, just chucking them on the ground. After I shoo that one off, they sit on the fence and laugh at me in the most human sounding laugh I have ever heard a bird make for about 10 minutes. The crows are always around and have never acted like this, and I finally twig that the grapes were alcoholic and these two boys have decided to have a night on the town. After they finish with me, they start to harass the neighbor's little dog. One pulls its tail, and when the dog turns the other pulls its tail. They have opened every trash can on the street and there is rubbish everywhere. Who knows what destruction they have done out of sight. And right now as I type this at 8 PM at night, they are sitting high up in a tree cawing in a way that can only be described as drunken victory songs. I am sure they are planning their next destructive attack as we speak. TL. Doctor got crows drunk on alcoholic grapes and they are now acting like two boys at a bucks party where you know the groom is getting duct taped to a pole. Tifu by trying to gift my BF some sweet undies and subsequently spoiling his surprise proposal plans. About 3 weeks ago, I began preparations to get a nice gift for my BF, who I'll call Ray, to celebrate 4 years of dating. We live in a terribly humid place, and all summer he's been complaining about how sweaty his ass and balls get whenever he goes outside. He's been buying the same brand of cotton boxer briefs since we started dating. I thought it would be a nice homage to our great relationship, a great way to take care of the butt I get to squeeze on the regular, to splurge on a male subscription service to some silky micrometal underwear. They are pricey but known for being wicking, cooling, and overall very nice on the buns and balls. I ordered the first pair to present to him on the day of, and set up for a pair to be delivered monthly thereafter. I used his email on the sign up so that I could simply pass on the account to him after the first pair came. That way, he'd have full power to pick his colors and style every month, and easily return any if there were unexpected problems. One small problem. The receipt for this whole transaction is now resting in his email where he can find it and spoil my surprise. I sneakily hacked into his computer while he was out, by which I mean I entered the password he shared with me, because he foolishly trusted me not to wreck his shit, and open up his email. I simply archived the existing emails and set it up so that future emails from the company would be auto-marked as read and archived as well. I know how to do this because I'm a brilliant hacker. I googled it, while carefully double checking my devious work just to ensure nothing slipped through the cracks. A new email pinged on arrival and caught my attention. A shipping confirmation for an engagement ring. I immediately noped off his computer, and of course I didn't open the email, but the damage is done. Secrets out. My heart fell right through my butt. You guys, I actually died and now I'm a ghost writing this. I probably should have pretended I never saw that, and taken the secret to my grave, but I was too pumped and couldn't keep it in. Within the hour I broke down and called Ray to sheepishly confess what I had done. He wasn't angry, but sadly disappointed that I spoiled the surprise. Here's the kicker. He didn't actually propose yet, and still intends to make a thing out of it. My punishment for snooping is that the suspense is killing me. I've been forbidden from telling anyone that we're getting engaged until it's officiated. Every time we go out, the suspense that this may be the night drives me crazy. A romantic date at the beach the other evening ended with me saying, "Damn, I thought for sure we were getting engaged tonight. Why would you think that I'm going to propose to you?" He said, "That sounds like something you wouldn't know about because I'd keep it secret in my personal email." Now he's started intermittently faking me out. The other day, He walked into the kitchen and presented me with a little hinged box, which turned out to contain a tie pin from his work. He keeps getting down on one knee, looking up at me, and saying, "Go to tie this shoe." The emotional stress of keeping this exciting secret within me, not sharing it with co-workers or family or anyone, is maddening. Every false start sends my heart right back into my butt. One more thing. I somehow ducked up the email settings. The shipping confirmation for the underwear didn't get archived on arrival, and he saw it within a few hours, so that surprise got spoiled. 2. Turns out I'm not a master hacker, and my attempts have only brought woe into this house. I guess it's not all bad. He reports that the pair of boxer briefs that arrived are very nice to wear, and I do indeed enjoy squeezing his buns in them. If we ever do actually get married, it'll be nice to be hitched to a guy with sweet, silky buns and balls. Edit a misspelling. Too long didn't read, tried to hide an email receipt for some fancy underoos. Found out about an incoming engagement ring. Now I'll never get a husband. Tifu, by realizing that my ceiling fan has been making my bedroom a sauna for 11 years. I've been living in this house for the past 11 years. In my bedroom there's a ceiling fan that I always have on to try and make my room colder. My room has always been insanely hot compared to the rest of the house, and I never understood why. Flash forward to today when I'm talking to a friend that said they found out their fan can switch directions to heat the room in the winter. I immediately realized my duck up. When I got home I took a closer look at the fan, and hiding by the light is a little black switch. I hit the switch and what do you know? My room is about 10 degrees colder in minutes. I've been sleeping in a sauna for the past 11 years and had no idea. Every day in the summer waking up sweaty was because of a tiny black switch. TLDR, my ceiling fan has been spinning the wrong direction and heating my room for 11 sweaty years. LPT, clean the fan blades before having the fan change directions. Nah. I didn't even know this was a thing. Tifu, by looking up my school bully. So a little backstory. My family moved to a whole new country where we didn't speak the language when I was 12 years old, and they put me in a normal school and told me to just deal with it. I struggled like hell because I didn't speak a single word of English. The school they put me in was also rated one of the worst schools in the country, not just because of academic performance but also due to crime statistics. 2 separate stabbings happened on school premises while I was there. Anyway, I tried my hardest to ingratiate myself in the culture, the people and the language. One guy just completely hated my guts from day one. No idea why or what I did to him, but he just absolutely hated me and showed it. He was your typical delinquent. Stealing, ruining people's property, skipping school, drugs, fighting, gang related activities, you name it, he's probably been involved in it. So that's the kind of person I'm talking about. He would beat me up with his friends in tow, constantly taking the piss out of my accent and my English in class, in front of the teachers and all. There was a couple of occasions where they pushed me into a puddle of mud just before school started, or would follow me into the toilet while I was pissing and try to choke me out from behind. I naturally had to find ways to survive by knowing which toilets to use and when to leave school and which exist to use, where to sit in class, etc. Once this failed and him and his friends found me outside of school and beat the brakes off of me. Literally couldn't do anything. There was like 20 plus boys and some men who came after to school to meet him. I just curled up and tried my best to protect my head. The only thing that kept me sane that entire time was the knowledge that none of this would matter when we grow up. I would have a family, a job, be an upstanding member of society, and he would be in prison or at the very least not doing well. Karma has to work, right? The world can't be that unfair. Fast forward 15 years. I haven't kept in contact with anyone from that school. I didn't make any friends and I didn't develop Stockholms. I looked him up on Facebook. He owns a very successful business. He has a beautiful wife and 2 young kids. He lives in the best part of town. He owns a huge house and a few very expensive cars. He is doing incredibly well as opposed to me. Not married, no kids, no job, and back living with my parents. This has completely ducked me up for the past 5 days and I just can't get over the bullshit I was fed. Karma will get him for you. I think karma missed. TLDR. Looked up my school bully and he is doing way better than I ever will. Having worked in a competitive corporate environment for the last 10 plus years, I can tell you for a fact that liars and cheaters continue to proliferate throughout life. People who have had it easy. People who have cheated their way through school. People who brown nose their way through things. All of those people are still here in the working world. No doubt. There are those whose karma did catch up to them. But there are a lot of shitty people in the world. Tifu by falling deeply in love with my own smell. This didn't really happen today. More like over the course of the past 4 years. This is a throwaway because I'm very embarrassed. Sorry about formatting. I'm typing this on mobile. My girlfriend of 3 years passed away in a car accident about 4 years ago. It was a horrible event and I still haven't been able to get back into the game since. I was and still am very much in love with her. Now to the duck up. My favorite possession of all time is her pillow. It smells like her, and I usually sleep with it every night. I haven't washed it out of fear of losing the smell. I know. Gross, but I don't think straight anymore. I hold it and hug it and it makes me feel warm inside. But this morning when I went for a particularly long morning run I started smelling the smell. Really strong. It confused me but I wasn't going to start complaining. This morning, about 20 minutes ago I arrived back home and went to change out of my workout clothes. And the smell grew more pungent. This was the moment I realized that after 4 years of sleeping with her pillow, I got it all dirty and smelly and that was the smell my brain now associates with her. I'm embarrassed and distraught that the smell I thought was hers has transformed into my sleep sweat. Too long didn't read slept with my passed away girlfriend's pillow for 4 years. And have fallen in love with my man sweat. Edit. I would reply to all of you if I could. But today has been very emotionally taxing. Thanks for all your kind words. Bro, you made it to the end? You're a ducking beast. I'll cut you a deal. Smash like and subscribe for more curated content. It's free and that's a great price.